5 years, up against a Wigan Warriors side that hold a 3-1 advantage over St Helens this year, including the Challenge Cup final in April. Let's take a check on the way the two sides line up. First of all, the Saints. They have Helens at fullback, Albert, Gleeson, Newlove and Stewart, Sculthorpe and Long. No Tommy Martin. Britt, Cunningham, Ward gets a start. Bennett, Yonkers, Joint is the loose forward this week and captain. And the bench, Hoppy, Shields, Stankiewicz and Hyam. The coach is Ian Millwood. Now the men from just up the road at Wigan. Radlinski at fullback. Carney returns. First appearance for him. He's missed the last 3. Aspinwall, Connolly and young Sean Briscoe. O'Neill and Lamb. And then the forwards. O'Connor passed a late fitness test. Newton, Smith, Cassidy, Ferner, Farrell. 8-13. First choice for Wigan. Howard, O'Loughlin, Danny Sculthorpe, Paul's younger brother and Tickle on the bench. Coach is Stuart Raper.
Both sides 10 metres. Perhaps the crowd and you viewers, you'll be looking towards an open game, but this I think is going to be a real tough one instead. Keep your eyes on both sets of forwards.
So the rain teeming down as Paul Sculthorpe just goes again to tee the ball up on sand on the centre spot. We're about to get underway. We're 80 minutes away from knowing whether it's Bradford Saints, Bradford Wigan for next week's grand final. And in the 2 games that Russell Smith has refereed, Saints Wigan this year, Wigan have won them both. Is that an omen for the Warriors? Of course, they're on the ground where they lost 19-0 over Easter, and there's the first mistake from Craig Smith.
Well, he has a habit of carrying the ball forward there and going into the tackle with the ball carrying arm.
Cracking tackle from Mike Bennett.
Yeah, but it's not the way to go into it. That ball should have been shifted one to the left. If you're going to use the shoulder on your right, you don't use the ball with it.
First chance then for St Helens. They forced the error in the opening minute that they wanted. And here now is Darren Albert, and he's almost through. Desperate defence from O'Connor. Quick play the ball. This is Cunningham. He bounces off 1. He bounces off 2. They're struggling to get him down. Eventually they do. 4 it takes to bring Kieran Cunningham to the earth.
Interesting to see Cunningham running from dummy half in the first minute. It took him 15 minutes last week.
This is Paul Helens now. And St Helens are 3 metres away from the line. Gleeson, the dummy half, spins the ball to Long. Long pops it then to Darren Britt. And Darren Britt is so close.
What a tackle from Radlinski. He looked for support, did the prop forward, there was not there.
Out wide, it's a try. First try to Anthony Stewart. St Helens capitalise on the mistake from Craig Smith. They had too many numbers out wide. Stuart Raper, a nightmare start. St Helens get the dream ticket. Is it the ticket all the way to Old Trafford?
Wonderful effort from this man. He knows the way to the line. But it all came about from the mistake from the prop forward, Craig Smith. This is it. See how he goes in? He uses the charge, but you should not do it that way. And the long ball from Long is sufficient. 2 longs make a try, and that try produces 4 points. Nothing wrong with it. The momentum rule. Long kept moving across to make sure that there'd be no doubt. Barely a minute and a half, and the Saints are on the scoreboard.
And Stuart Raper not very impressed. Anthony Stewart then. He got 2 tries against the Bradford Bulls last week and lost. He's got a try here, and as you can see, he has found the whitewash in the last 4 matches. Sculthorpe then, from the touchline. He missed the kick from the touchline last week that would have taken us into extra time. He was into the breeze then, he's into the breeze now, and he's missed another. St Helens 4, Wigan 0, first blood to the Saints.
The deja vu, I said it last week, that early in the game this fella missed quite an easy one. Now, watch the angle here. As soon as Long sets the ball away, notice how he'll keep running, and he keeps running, he's in front of Stewart. That brings about the momentum rule. Not that it looked dodgy in any way, but you could see the face of the Wigan coach, Stuart Raper. He was far from impressed.
Julian O'Neill restarts. Sean Long just traps it, gives it to Darren Britt, and he will drive it forward again. Well, it's been a good start for St Helens. Very early days yet. Joint. Craig Smith anxious now to make amends. Cunningham will have another run from dummy half.
Such a vital cog in this St Helens attack. Very quiet in that first half when Bradford took full control, but that's good defence, good tackle from Newton.
Good scooting from dummy half by Cunningham and by Long. And Long dabs the ball over the top. It will turn Radlinski around, and Radlinski's going to have to run this back. Radlinski does very well.
Beautiful back spinning kick from Sean Long. And look at the defence there. Saints are fired up for this one.
They certainly are. They are smarting after their first home defeat of 2002 last week. Bradford beat them 28-26. The champions are at Old Trafford. Will it be a repeat of 99 or a repeat of last year? Andy Farrell for Wigan. Great tackling by St Helens. 17 metres made. Cassidy gets the ball away to Lamb. A big kick downfield, and what a relieving kick that is.
Well, that shows you how much the wind is going to be an asset to this Wigan outfit in the first 40. But that is an amazing kick from Lamb. Ooh, pretty high from Julian O'Neill, but we anticipate that. This is not drafts or tiddlywinks. This is real rough stuff.
Darren Albert.
Both
what
sides.
A kick, though, as you say. There were 17 metres. That's all they made in the 5 tackles. The kick took St Helens to the other end of the field. Offside now against Wigan.
Interesting to see our Saints are just taking it calmly, not getting too excited. Far too often we see some of the sides, at about 4 or 5 to pick on there to the official, are just making that point. Quite a lot of the teams, even early in the game. Quick tap, get on with it. Oh, that was unusual. It looked as though Stewart went for...
Well, there's a second push and a shove from Terry O'Connor.
Well, he's disappointed. He's talked to the referee. They'll go for 2 points now. But I got the impression that Stewart deliberately, instead of making contact and being tackled, he threw himself to the ground. That's what the prop forward's going mad about. There you see the tackle yet again. He just deliberately threw himself down so he couldn't make contact. O'Connor all over him. And he's saying he dived. He dived, sir. Either way, shouldn't have kept yapping to the official, Russell Smith.
He's arguably the best prop forward in the competition, is Terry O'Connor. He's been playing through the pain barrier in recent weeks. We know he's had a late fitness test coming into this match. He's absolutely vital to the Wigan forwards, and Ian Millwood. He's watching here as Paul Sculthorpe lines this penalty kick up.
I've had a look this end and it looks okay.
So Paul Sculthorpe then missed with the conversion. Look at the rain that's teeming down. It's grand final weather, all right. Sculthorpe this time makes no mistake, and Wigan have a 6-point lead to claw back. Saints 6, Wigan 0. Andrew Farrell winding his men up before the kick-off, has a job to do now, and he's just going over for clarification from the referee as you watch this.
But look at that, to me that's a voluntary tackle. We had a spate of that a couple of seasons ago. Quite a lot of the teams were utilising it. A, you don't get battered by the defenders, and B, you can get a quick play the ball from it, or, as we've just seen there, a penalty.
Here's Darren Britt. He's had 3 or 4 really big runs already tonight in the opening 7.5 minutes. And St Helens with a 6-point lead. They've got the start they must have been dreaming of last night. Barry Ward carrying it forward now. 29th appearance for Saints. This is only his 5th start.
Wonderful tactics by St Helens, though. A lot of running from dummy half. Wet conditions, that's what you need. And yet again, this fella.
Cunningham wide to Gleeson. And Gleeson trying to get the ball away to Darren Albert, but he couldn't. He was trapped. So Cunningham then gives it to Long. And Long dabs it over the top. This kick and chase game that Brian Noble was talking about in the build-up. It's difficult for Carney. It's difficult for Carney. And he's trapped. Wonderful chase from Sculthorpe.
But not as good as a kick from Sean Long. We knew it was going to be important. In wet weather, you have to utilise it, but the way that this guy gets a backward spin on it is unbelievable. Look how it just halts there. Khan is in a good position, but look at the chase. Sculthorpe says, "You're mine." Bump. He beat Yonkers, but not the standoff Paul Sculthorpe.
Drop out from underneath the sticks. Wind at their backs, Wigan, remember. Good length on it too. Off the chest of Wellens and backwards. Play on. Barry Ward to run it back for the Saints. Straight up the middle. Uncompromising stuff from the Saints forwards.
Well, they're getting on with the game. I'm not messing around. Oh, surely Cassidy must have been slightly offside there. I know he's pretty quick this season.
Good work from Farrell. He managed to get the ball offloaded, did joint to Darren Britt, and Farrell shot out and clawed the big Australian to the ground. This is Sculthorpe again now.
All this running from dummy half is creating all sorts of problems. Looks like Cassidy's down with a big injury. That's a mistake. Did it go backwards? No,
knock on by Gleeson.
Cassidy's in all sorts of trouble. Is it Cassidy? Well, that's where the mistake came. Cunningham certainly knocked on.
Well, he's saying Wigan knocked on. And that's Cassidy, caught maybe in the throat by Sculthorpe. Let's have another look at this knock on. That's gone backwards.
Well, they've deemed that Connolly has got a fingertip to it. This will be more pressure.
No, it's Wigan's head and feet, Steve.
Well, obviously he felt there that I thought for one moment there that the touch had got it wrong. Kieran Cunningham obviously deemed to have lost the football.
This is Gary Connolly now for Wigan. They could do with having ball in hand for a wee while. Wigan just settle the ship down. Craig Smith.
Yeah, but in this weather, Eddie, when they've got the advantage of the wind, we already saw that wonderful kick from deep within his own 20 from Adrian Lamb. Wide may call the forwards do all the hard work when one big kick can do it, and this will give them a chance.
Yes, it will.
Mr. Britt none too impressed with Russell Smith, but he was certainly hanging around. He'll get penalised for loitering.
So the first real opportunity that Wigan have had as Darren Britt jogs back into that St Helens defensive line. And here is Terry O'Connor. Oh, he's lost it. First tackle. Is this going to be St Helens' night?
Well, it's certainly not Wigan's at the moment. First it was Craig Smith that came up with the error. Now is brought forward. Terry O'Connor does exactly the same. Well, Stewart.
Cassidy penalised all over the back of the man. And Sculthorpe's taken a quick tap. Great run from Sculthorpe.
Well, I knew that two Wigan players, including Cassidy, was no way back to 10 metres. That means that Wigan were down to 11 men effectively.
Here's Long now for Saints. Here's Mike Bennett. That's 3 tackles gone. They are 22 metres away from the line. Cunningham to Long. Long to Gleeson. Oh, and he lost it. But he went backwards. It doesn't matter anyway. Wigan have got it. Cassidy hunting.
Just took his eyes off the football just for a split moment there. Martin Gleeson. A lot of the crowd feeling that it was ripped away, but you could see there he'd lost control. No doubt about that, it would have been a scrum down anyway. And this that says it all, doesn't it? We haven't got there yet. We will now.
Oh, it's out on the full, this. Kick from Lamb is out on the full.
Not got the radar working.
Not yet. Adrian Lamb, a try and a drop goal in the Challenge Cup final against St Helens.
To be fair, it's only a metre too long. But boy, oh boy, sometimes this game can be a matter of inches, never mind metres.
Early days for Wigan yet and Stuart Raper. That's what he will be thinking. This is Barry Ward, interestingly enough, standing out of the scrum then. Paul Sculthorpe, a dummy half. Sean Long, Martin Gleeson, attacking Adrian Lamb, attacking Gary Connolly. Those two get him in the end, force him back a couple of metres. Darren Albert will wait at dummy half. There he is. Into the arms of Long. Inside then to Britt. Britt will go at them again.
Good idea to use a big fella, Darren Britt there. Second receiver. Running it down, then he can offload. One of the best there in the game.
Sculthorpe. Who almost through. What a great tackle from Ferner.
Had to be as well. He was on the way to the line. Long is.
Joint is. Chris Joint gets another. What a start for St What a start for St Helens this is! The captain comes up with a try. He's won 2 grand finals as Chris Joint, as Stuart Raper takes a sip of the liquid. But Chris Joint, captain of 2 grand final winning teams, 99 and 2000, is he on his way back to the Theatre of Dreams in 2002?
Well, it will be if they continue with this. Came about from the mistake from Lamb, out on the full, and from there, look how long, worked the blind side superbly. Wonderful offload, straight to his skipper. Look how they hang back there. You can't afford to do that. This is the inside and then the tackle from Ferner. This is the build-up. Look how they play the ball quickly. Scully says, come on, let's get out of here. So does Long. Bang. Just sucked Julian O'Neill in so easily. The offload was superb, and this is what it means to the coach. Pretty impressed, I feel.
Well, there you go. There's a conference, and a conference of crisis really underneath the Wigan posts, as Joint leads the way back for St Helens, and Sculthorpe lines this shot up. A try and 3 goals against the Bulls. He hasn't missed a playoff game yet for St Helens. And this for a 12-0. It's going to have to settle for 10. 10-0, St Helens.
That was wonderful thinking there by the little halfback Sean Long. The way that he just sucked the standoff Julian O'Neill into that position. Little short offload to allow this man to go for the 4 points. And remember, it is Wigan that has the advantage with the wind and the rain behind them.
Chris Joint, a record 43rd clash against the old enemy. His first was the 1992 Lancashire Cup final. The stakes, with all due respect, are a little higher tonight.
But look how eager Saints are at making sure that they get up, play the ball quickly. And Wigan are having the devil of the job trying to get back to 10.
Long with a kick downfield, and it turns Radlinski around, and this difficult bouncing ball is eventually collected, but a wall of St Helens attackers. Phil Clark, the Saints are well and truly up for this one.
Yeah, we only saw 40 minutes from Sean Long last week, and he was pretty amazing in that, but in the first 15 tonight, he's been simply a class above the rest. His kicking game's been outstanding, and also the ability of a great ball player is to know when a long pass and a short pass are needed. Both of those he's used, and they've come up with 2 tries for St Helens.
And how important is Sean Long, not only to St Helens, but also to Great Britain. This is Andrew Farrell, the British captain, of course, and captain of Wigan. That's the last, though, for Wigan. Centre field, Newton.
Oh, that was a mile forward.
Lamb, they've got away with it. Tries to get the ball away, Lamb. Ball is lost, it's the turnover.
Well, they certainly got away with it there, and it's getting a bit tasty out there. Terry Newton.
And Tim Yonkers.
Tempers afraid. Well, it came to naught in the end, but oh, you can see there, Newton just attacked him straight into the face. Not surprisingly, he's retaliated. And sensibly, they were pulling players apart, and Russell Smith, rightly so, has just had a word to all the players, say, come on, concentrate on the game. And that's what Wigan need, Eddie. 10 points adrift. They cannot afford to concede another try.
This is the way it looks head-to-head, as you can see, over the years, the past 30 years, Wigan. And even here at St Helens, it's been Wigan.
Knock on.
And in the Super League, it's been Wigan. But at the moment, it's 10-0 Saints. And a knock-on, as you say.
Loses control of it completely there. Barry Ward in a position where it's been alien to this Wigan Warrior side, and that's the St Helens half.
Lamb, and they'll go down the blind side with O'Neill. Had a wonderful game, Julian O'Neill. Last time they played, 28 points in the last meeting, that 48-8 victory at the JJB Stadium. This is a different night, though, this.
Looked a little knock on there from Newton.
Well, there's one from Farrell.
And in these conditions, you cannot afford to take it high for football. I thought Newton had a little bit of a dribble there, but once a pass was passed on the inside to Farrell. There it is. It's only a short little look, but it's so painful.
Saints then in possession, and it's Joint from the base of the scrum, operating at loose forward tonight. Chris Joint. Don't forget, in the morning on Sky Sports 2, Saturday at 7:30, we have the first international of great significance for you. New Zealand against Australia. The Kiwis due over here for the Test series against Great Britain, and of course the Welsh. But it's New Zealand-Aussie in the morning, Sky Sports 2, 7:30. It's just gone a touch scrappy here.
Well, not only that, the experience, Darren Britt tried to offload in an almost impossible situation. Why they want to try to do that, he must be a bit confused. Ian Millwood leading 10-0 in a great position to apply. The kick has been the best from them so far. Oh, it's knock on.
What a hit. What a hit from Wellens. Well, he's got to put the scrum down and the knock on. Well,
He's
deemed the zero tackle, that's all right.
He's deemed it as no disadvantage to the Saints side. They got possession, they're on the roll.
And it was the zero tackle, I suppose, so fair enough. This is Gleeson. Ball down eventually, but the Saints again are 20 metres away. And here goes Cunningham down the short side. Brilliant ball to Bennett. Bennett on a good run.
Super play from the hooker.
Wigan are on the back foot at the moment. Cunningham! He's down! Has he got the ball down?
No, he's held up.
Have a little look, please. Check it out. Check it out, Mr. Video Ref.
This will be it.
Steve Cross, the video referee tonight.
I don't think he gets it down, Eddie. They did well to scramble back.
Kieran Cunningham had a try disallowed at Murrayfield on the nod of the video referee that turned the game, Steve-O.
Certainly did, but I don't think he gets it there. He tries his damnedest. Well, his arms, legs, you name it. Probably the kitchen sink in there, but this will be NOTOI. How on earth can he possibly give that? See, the ball has been lifted up eventually.
Well,
I think that Cunningham is looking in hope to the official Russell Smith.
All I will say is I read somewhere in the last fortnight, benefit of the doubt goes to the attacking side.
This will be no try then.
How right you are. Third tackle attack, so we go back to there where the tackle was affected, and that's right on the line. But was he over the line? If he was, he should have been head and feet of the scrum. Doesn't matter. They've decided that's the way to restart. Oh, Darren Britt's lost it again.
Play the first knock on. Well, I mentioned earlier in the game that they were utilising the big prop forward out wide as a second receiver, just as you probably would with the back three. You normally would be expecting the like of Joint, Yonkers and Bennett, but no doubt about it. He was tackled short. Good defence though. Cassidy put his body on the line.
Sean Long shot out then to try and cut the pass down from Lamb, and Lamb just got a little glimpse at him. Here is Cassidy now for Wigan. Midway through this first half.
First and second markers from St. Helens are absolutely wonderful.
Farrell did well to stay in the field of play, then Long and Joint after it. Newton.
Look at Long going from it. They're standing a metre back as the first and second markers. They're not getting involved with anybody that's playing the ball.
Another big hit by Barry Ward, but Craig Smith managed to hang on that occasion. Newton, last tackle. Look at the completed sets.
That'll be play. Oh, he's getting a knock on.
First knock on. First knock on against Farrell.
I don't think he did. It was a kick. I think the officials got that wrong.
He missed it.
Well, no, I think you got a boot to it. He missed it the first time, but I think
doesn't matter. I was going to say.
Yeah, he can. But if it goes forward, it'll be a knock on.
Well, it's gone now the other way, and Wigan have got the possession back from a mistake by St. Helens. It's no night for faint hearts. This. O'Connor. It's Cunningham and Joint who got to him. Newton, dummy half. Lamb. Drop of the shoulder. Adrian Lamb! Good tackle by Bennett. Oh, he went for the penalty, got it.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he goes to the pocket here.
Don't make a real of it, Eddie. Don't make it look dramatic.
That was a professional foul.
The referee just said to Adrian Lamb, don't make it look so dramatic. You've got the penalty.
Well, I don't think he'd win an Oscar for this. Don't make it look dramatic. Well, maybe he did slightly. But he wouldn't have got the gold statuette for mine.
Well, they obviously want the 2 points to get back to within 8. Bennett, the man who just had the second little drag at Adrian Lamb's ankle. So a chance for Andrew Farrell. Man of the match last week against Leeds. 21 points in the last win against St Helens. There's his first 2 of the night. 10-2.
Well, the Warriors get those 2 points. Doesn't look too perturbed about the whole affair, but
it's 18 months since he last had his hands on silverware, Steve-O.
Well, once you get there, they all do, don't they? Bradford Bulls in waiting. I'm just saying that this is probably one of the greatest defensive efforts I've seen from St Helens. With a team like Wigan, I think they've only been in Saints' half.
They've gone for
4 times.
They've gone for the short kick-off. It just didn't come off for them. Adrian Lamb picks up. It was nearly there. There was someone actually steaming up. I think it was Bennett who was chasing the dab over the top. And he came from about 15 metres inside his own half. But it came to naught. Wigan have the ball with Ferner.
All that tackling that Wigan's had to do, though, Eddie's taken its toll. We've seen Farrell having a little bit of a limp. We've also seen Adrian Lamb there. He's running to try to take the first receiver. But he looks as though he's struggling as well. It's been well documented that Wigan have got a lot of the players going into this game not 100% fit.
Good crossfield kick from Adrian Lamb, but that'll scoop away on this surface. On a dry night, that might have held up lovely for Chris Radlinski.
His coach realises that it's just not working out for him. 2 bad kicks, one directly over the touchline, the other one far too strong.
Well, we talk about momentum, not in terms of momentum rule, but the momentum maybe being a crucial factor on the road to Old Trafford. Both these sides in the last 5 games have won 3, lost 2. But there's nothing to choose there.
You talk about a major factor. This is the one where they're running from dummy half. It's been outstanding.
Newlove takes the tackle from Lamb, plays the ball quickly again to Sculthorpe, a dab over the top from Sculthorpe, and Stewart was after it.
Carney got a fingertip to that. It'll be, well, he said Wigan head and feed.
That wasn't.
I thought Carney gets a hand to this.
And he does.
Oh, Carney. Well, it looked fine as far as I was concerned. Carney definitely got the first touch to that. Stewart maybe touched it after. Well, who knows? He won't like it.
No, he doesn't like it. They wanted the head and feed there, and maybe they should have got it. I was very interested, Steve-O, in the Aussie Grand Final last Sunday to watch Bill Harrigan refereeing. We just asked the video referee to let him know about debatable decisions like that. I mean, there are certain referees here, we'd be here till midnight maybe if we employed that in this country. But Russell Smith, not so. Whoops, it's on.
It's on, yeah.
Craig Smith's had 2 at Sean Long.
He's just dropped him. All he was doing was just tackling the man. Yeah, getting back to that point, Eddie, when you've got quality referees like Harrigan, maybe you can do that. We don't have that many here.
We've got one out in the middle here.
And it needs to be as well.
I bet that's something Stuart Cummings, by the way, will look at next year. But anyway, this is the incident here.
Well, he felt that Long went far too high. And this is the one, wait for it. Short one, boom. That's what put him down. I think he'll put him on report.
Craig Smith, the New Zealand international. Let's hear what the referee in touch are saying.
Smith's face.
Right.
Smith has reacted with a punch.
Okay.
That's what I've seen to begin with. Okay, then it just broke up.
So
Sean Long pushed his head into his face. It wasn't a headbutt. in my opinion.
What was it worthy of a foul?
It was worthy of a foul.
Okay.
Yes.
I tell you what, they're going to give the penalty to
So
Wigan
the
here.
first offence was Sean Long, not an headbutt, but he's pushed his head in the face of the defender. Then we've got Craig Smith.
Well, I don't know where he's pushed his head in the face. Oh, yes, there.
Sean.
There, well done. He was trying to.
Sean Long, I think, is going to the sin bin.
First offence, Sean, for 10 minutes. Then
See you later. Well, they won't like that here.
That's contentious, and Craig Smith is already off the field.
He's up for 10 anyway.
But he's gone for blumping.
Has he gone off today?
He didn't like it. I mean, what about the elbow going into Long's face? It was tit for tat, but you can see that Sean perhaps was heading that way, if you excuse the pun.
Well, Craig Smith had gone off because of the bloodied nose. I think he's going to have 10 minutes in the sin bin now, not the blood bin. Or is it going on report, this?
Craig, you've got to go for 10
No.
minutes.
He's going, they're both going for 10 in the sin
He's
bin.
got for 10, you'll go for 10.
He says, couldn't you tell me while I was on the sidelines? It's bad enough for the big prop forwards.
Yeah. Well, the referee shouldn't have to walk to the sideline. It's right they brings the player to him. They're both in the sin bin anyway.
Clearly.
I was being frivolous.
Okay.
Spell it.
Begins with F.
It's a penalty to Wigan, this.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's a penalty. Hang on. A penalty to St. Helens.
Well, I tell you what, the touch judge does deserve something. It's the mere fact that the ball-carrying man has gone into Sean first and then went for a second one. They were both eager to get the old heads together, weren't they?
I must have misheard. I thought that the touch judge said that there was a head. Sean Long put his head in the face of Craig Smith and it was worth a foul. I'm not sure. I misinterpreted if it did, but anyway. Have they got it right?
Yes, on the fifth time of looking.
Sculthorpe then will take the shot at goal.
And that just explains really why it is so difficult for these referees and touch judges to pick up everything.
Ian Millwood is on his way down to have a word with Sean Long maybe, and one or two of his subs. There's Peter Shields.
Not a bad ploy that, you know, for the coach to come down when it's all quietened down. They're going for a penalty attempt, just to keep the spirit up on the bench.
Well, Sculthorpe with an important kick, this to make it 12-2. The gap is 10 points. That must have been pretty tight.
Yeah,
That decision, it was just over the bar, just over the post, I think. And Ian Millwood is leading the debate with Sean Long here.
Just sneaked in on the inside of that right-hand post, but I think this is a big ploy for Ian Millwood. Bring Sean Long off. It's getting tasty out there. Sorry, on the sin bin. Maybe he's having a word with him, perhaps, Eddie, in regards to just keep it quiet. But this is the man at the moment. Oh, that was the tackle completed? No.
Cassidy on the top of Sculthorpe. This is Joint. Cassidy all round the shoulders of Chris Joint. Cunningham dummy half. Barry Ward.
Talk about two sides putting their body on the line. This is fantastic rugby league.
It is in the most awful conditions. That was high on Wellens. It was by Terry Newton. And it could be another penalty at goal here by Sculthorpe.
No doubt about it. Wigan becoming rattled and confused. They've had little of the ball. But if it stays like this and goes to half-time, Wigan will have come up with an unwanted record. I can only think of one opportunity where they've had the position in St. Helens to apply any pressure to score a try. Just once.
And Sculthorpe will have a shot at goal. Sixth penalty for St. Helens. Wigan have only had two. And on this sixth penalty is Tim Yonkers. Well, Ian Millwood is talking to everyone. Tim Yonkers on the sideline now. That's Dave Lyon, former St. Helens fullback, and one of his assistants. There's a real debate on the sideline.
Wouldn't surprise me if it pops up and has a word with us.
Sculthorpe then with this penalty. He's missed it. What's more, he hasn't got it dead. Radlinski can run this ball back. Now, that could be a crucial miss. He missed an easy, in quotes, kick last week and then missed the one off the touchline that would have taken us to extra time. That would have been a 2 converted try gap. As it is, it's just the 10 points still.
To be fair, it's a pretty stiff breeze he's having to kick into.
Wigan then in the shape of O'Neill, who gives it to Aspinwall.
Nice positioning by the youngster there, came back on the inside to the experienced O'Neill.
And playing in his preferred position, I think, of centre. Here is Farrell, they have a man on the overlap here. This is Connolly. Briscoe is the man on the overlap, but Connolly has taken it back the other way. He's got away from Darren Britt, shaped to pass, and is trapped then by Yonkers. Here's Gary Connolly playing his last match of rugby league on the ground where it all started. Oh, Lamb has gone down after a challenge by Ward. That ball popped back by the Wigan man. It's play on. This is Newlove.
You play to the whistle. Was it late? It could have been.
This is Cunningham. Here is Wellens. Farrell gets to him.
Wonderful tackle from Farrell. Farrell has got away with the second hit.
This is Sculthorpe. He bounces off David Furner. Gives it to Martin Gleeson. Gleeson Cassidy is after him. They're 10 metres away, the Saints. And Newlove is out of the attacking line here. He is injured. And Bennett has dropped it. Well, the testosterone level out there, Steve-O, must be sky high.
It is. You can feel it. Sense it. Glad I'm up here. There's been some big hits.
You want, mate?
And Bennett comes up with a mistake.
Wait, Adrian, wait.
And we'll get plenty of those.
Bunny, don't pull it through. Make sure we don't pull
And when you look at the scoreline, 10 points. Oh, it's a big mountain for Wigan to come back from in these conditions, and knowing that they will have to play into this breeze and the rain.
Secret weapon has just come on, by the way, as O'Neill makes a little gap dash for Wigan. Peter Shields has got a try in each of the last 3 against Wigan at Lowesley Road, and he's out there now.
There again, the first and second markers. Look how they're coming back a metre. They're forcing Wigan into one up, ripped away, penalty. Just about to say they're forcing Wigan into just one out football all the time. No doubt about it, Joint got his left arm in there.
The referee wants a word with Terry O'Connor.
You're pushing players. You're agitated. Settle down, that's going to cause you a problem.
What a great line, Russell Smith. Terry, you're agitated. Settle down, otherwise it's going to cause you a problem. How could you be anything other than agitated on a night like this?
Well, he's big enough to be a washing machine, isn't it? Here he goes.
Bang! First drive in from O'Connor again. Newton waits at dummy half, gives it to Cassidy. First a real chance here for Wigan. Cassidy is there, you know.
What an effort.
Cassidy is there.
What an effort.
Try is given to Cassidy. He missed the Castleford game in the playoffs. He got back in the side last week against Leeds, and that just could be the move of the match that will lift Wigan's intensity in this game. Cassidy with a brave try.
And it all came down to the mistake way downfield, and then the steal from Joint put them into the position. But what an individual effort. They went for the big hit instead of going for the legs. And Cunningham has paid the price. Watch Cunningham go for the big hit rather than do the tackle. You've got to get the legs, and this man, who last week was absolutely superb, you'd have had to stop him with an elephant gun, and you would have done the same thing tonight. Sensational stuff from this fella.
Farrell then to add the extras from bang in front, which he does. It's 12-8 at Knowsley Road. Game on, as they say. And Mick Cassidy, outstanding against St Helens in that 48-8 win last month. He's just come up with his 4th try of the season. And as you saw, 49 tries in his career now, one away from the half-century.
They just keep knocking this guy down, and for some, I don't know how he does it, but he keeps coming back for more.
Here's Carney.
What a lift for a side that was completely out of this game. Never looked like scoring. And I know one thing, Ian Millwood will have plenty to say in the fact that Kieran Cunningham went for the glorious big hit instead of stopping the man by his legs.
Here is Adrian Lamb. Wigan, well, they really have been encouraged by that now. And here's the bloke who's lifted them, Cassidy, over halfway. Last tackle, though. Connolly will have a scamper away and a stab through, and Connolly's after it himself. Wellens waits.
Great positioning by the full-back there. A lot of people thought perhaps if you go too deep, you allow him what they call no man's land. Connolly was forced into that kick.
This is Peter Shields. Big hit by Newton. Good ball from Joint to Britt. And Britt thought about the offload, took the tackle wisely. He's not convinced that that was a penalty. Here is Sculthorpe, and wide it goes to Gleeson. Albert's outside him. There is space ahead for Albert. Couldn't get through it though. Lamb and Connolly.
Good work from Lamb.
Here's Sculthorpe now attacking the line. Stab through. Too deep.
Obviously going for the post. With a bit of power behind it. Trying to get the padding just to whisk it away. It's tense.
It's even more tense. There's a knock on against Wigan.
Well, you can perhaps say that when you're in the tackle procedure, you may come up with the error, but when you're just getting to your feet and playing the ball, it really is a silly error. He knows it too.
And not normally the man to make them, the Wigan captain. Well, you said it was going to be interesting the way the two coaches utilised their subs. Just had another change, and I think that was Darren Britt who's gone off, and Stankovic has come on, and this is Joint, and there is the first touch for Stankovic. Not a bad little effort either. Cunningham will attack the line! Oh, what a try! What a try from Cunningham! The best in the world! The best hooker in the world has come up with a priceless try. Bring on the Kiwis. Cunningham's on fire.
You can tell that it was going through his mind, that he knew he went for the big hit on Cassidy a few moments ago, and he dug deep inside and said, I am gonna pay. It all came from the mistake from the Wigan skipper. Losing control there is no excuse. Had to say the impact on the tackle. World quality, this fella. The world's best hooker. Even the Australians admit to that. He may have made a mistake early, but I have got him back in. I have wiped the slate clean. Happy?
So he should be. He isn't. A powwow behind the Wigan sticks. Andrew Farrell trying to lift his men. But Cunningham, what a try. And what a way to mark your 250th starting appearance and your 33rd appearance against Wigan for St Helens. That's his 6th try. Sean Long now with a kick. Sculthorpe's missed 3 from 5. Long has got 1 from 1. And Saints are 18-8 up, and they've scored at exactly the right time, just before the break.
Something that Wigan normally do, but this Wigan defence was very slow to get themselves sorted out, especially in the first and second marker position, and this guy took full advantage.
What a competitor. Kieran Cunningham's stride. Deep kick-off from Wigan. Oh, and that was off the legs of Sean Long. 3 minutes to go to half-time. Great kick-off from Julian O'Neill. Chances for Wigan, Phil.
Yeah, considering the way the game's gone, it's amazing that Wigan are only 10 points behind. I know they're another try from St Helens, but they've had very little chance to attack the St Helens line. The last time they did, Cassidy managed to find a way over. Now he needs one of his teammates to do likewise.
Let's see, it's Farrell attacking the line, bounced away from Sculthorpe, couldn't get away from Shields, Yonkers and Joint, but this is a glorious opportunity for Wigan to reply. Newton, Lamb, Cassidy. This time they get to him, Bennett and Gleeson. Plenty of tackles in the bank though. Newton! Trying to do a Cunningham, held up on his feet. Cassidy waits. Spins the ball to Lamb. Lamb will stab the kick through for Radlinski. And they'll take the dropout. Stewart did well.
Wonderful effort by the winger. It's all about team spirit and team effort. Nicely weighted as well from Adrian Lamb. Radlinski was pouncing away, but equal to the task was Stewart. Remember last week, it was St Helens that were absolutely blitzed by the kicking game from Bradford. And I mentioned the fact that Millwood would have been working on the wingers dropping back early, anticipating the kick. Instead of just leaving it to the fullback Wellens, they've got to help.
A little fumble from O'Neill, but he held on, gives it to O'Connor. And O'Connor drives it in. What an effort from him tonight. What an effort from him all year. Look for the penalty. There's been a lot of that in the playoffs. Players diving. Ferner, Newton, Lamb, Cassidy. And this time Gleeson and Long put him down.
Boy, it's tough out there.
Oh, it is. No place for faint hearts, Knowsley Road. Craig Smith. Raised the leg in the tackle there, did Smith. Newton! Lamb did really well to pick that up.
Scooped it in, had to dive.
Newton again. O'Neill. Thought about the pass on his inside to Farrell. Julian O'Neill, though, couldn't get it away. 9 years, by the way, since his last grand final. Penalty to St Helens.
Well, Stankovic did well, didn't take the dummy, and then Julian O'Neill. And this is something else that's happened, you know, throughout this season. The players just say, get out of it, instead of getting on and playing the football. Wigan haven't had hardly any chance to apply the pressure to Saints, and they give away stupid penalties like that.
Half a minute to the break. An important 10-point lead for St Helens. Shields. Oh, the defence, well, it is absolutely solid, both sides. The tackling is fierce. This is the last movement, I think, of this first half. It's got to be a chip and chase by Long, and it is. And that will beat everybody. Here comes the half-time siren. There it is. Well, Sean Long has been the man with the baton. He's been orchestrating for St Helens. Stuart Raper will get down to the dressing room to talk to Andy Farrell and company. But that first half has belonged to Saints. They've scored 3 tries to 1. And the one just before half-time from Kieran Cunningham, well, that was worth the admission money alone. St Helens leading by 18 points to 8. Look at this from Cunningham. A great match. It's all we expected.
Sixes, and that just takes it out of your body. But I can assure you the Warriors will not throw it in.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. They have a winning ethic at Wigan, and there's the first mistake of this half, and Wigan have it with O'Neill, and here is Farrell.
Well, he's one man that can turn the tide. Came up with a bad error that...
Cassidy goes without it.
Says it all, that look, doesn't it? Just about to say that Farrell's mistake allowed Cunningham that super try. Now
Cunningham's dropped it. This is Briscoe, hardly touched the ball in the first half. Young Sean Briscoe. O'Connor. Well, 3 mistakes in the opening minute. Newton, O'Neill, Lamb, Ferner, Radlinski. Wigan trying to keep this ball alive, running Saints off their feet. Newton waits at dummy half. Wide it goes to Farrell. And Farrell just dropped the shoulder, backed himself. Shields and Joint bring him down. Newton again. Back it goes to Adrian Lamb. And Lamb, he was just caught in two minds for a moment then.
He had no support though. You really need someone coming short there to try to confuse the defence. What a great tackle from Sculthorpe.
Last tackle, this set of 6. Newton attacks that line, flicks the pass. That code's going to be back to 0. That's going to be back to 0 in the tackle count. The referee's checking with the touch judges. No sign from them. Wide they go to Connolly. Further wide. No try.
What a great effort from Paul Wellens. Outstanding tackle.
Briscoe.
He'll go to the screen, but as far as I'm concerned, it's no try. I'm with Eddie.
Briscoe, I think, has hit the corner flag.
He did the right thing, kept his body low, but so did Paul Wellens. Great work from Connolly. He says, I'm in here, all I have to do is slide. He leaps, bump. No.
Fantastic effort from Wellens.
Fantastic effort from both of them. This youngster, Sean Briscoe, is just magnificent, and so is the fullback, Paul Wellens.
Well, he managed to get one like this last week against Leeds, diving in for the corner. I don't know why Steve Cross needs to see this 3 or 4 times.
This is outstanding stuff.
Didn't even cross the line.
Well, the first time that the ball makes contact, he's right on the corner flag.
Yes.
I'm with you, Eddie. Why is he looking from this angle?
But he can't see anything. The touch judge is there.
All he can see is his arm in touch. That makes a difference.
Well, amazing, really. They were going to get another 6 tackles.
What on earth is he looking for?
I don't know. Briscoe's got the ball. He's the man over there. Gone.
Well, if
That told you about 10 minutes ago.
Precisely. Now, if he gives this as a try, my hair will grow back.
It's the turnover. I think they were just trying to find out how to restart the game.
Well, my apologies then.
Well, at least you won't be growing hair tomorrow. Just checking the way that the game had to restart, and that's the beauty of this sport. That's why the video ref works in rugby league, where it might not work in other sports, is the fact that we have methods of restarting the game after we have paused to take a look at a video decision. It's absolutely critical that they get it right.
You're so knowledgeable, Eddie.
No need to be sarcastic. Let's get the halftime news from Bill Arthur.
Eddie, Ian Millward, the St Helens coach, delighted with that first 40 minutes. Doesn't look it, but he's just looking for more of the same from his side, really. That's all he can ask for in these conditions. Completion, completion, completion. That's what he's been drilling into his side at half-time. And they'll be working for field position, just keeping the pressure on Wigan, trying to force the mistakes as they did so successfully in that first 40 minutes. His opposite number, Stuart Raper, is looking for more intensity from his side, especially around the ruck area where Saints have really out-enthused them. And they're looking for a bit more adventurousness in attack. He says that they really shouldn't be fazed by these conditions. Okay, it's slippery, but it shouldn't curb their natural inclination. If they see the opportunity, they should go for it. They need to.
Yes, they do. And they're trying to play St Helens in their own half of the field.
That was high from Newton. Well, he got warned in the first half. Officials have allowed it. Look at this, bang. Straight into the mush.
Sculthorpe felt it. This is Peter Shields on the last. Needs to be a good kick from long. Oh, they're running it, St Helens. This is adventure. Yonkers going to get caught.
Well, that surprises me. I'm not so sure that Ian Millward wanted that sort of play.
No, he didn't.
They've got the wind at their backs. They've got the rain into the faces of this Wigan outfit. And they try something smart like that on the halfway line. Beggars belief.
Craig Smith. St Helens supporters trying to rally the troops, so not the best pass. Farrell had to trap him with the foot. He's lost the momentum. Gleeson was after him. Here goes Terry Newton. Great offload to Radlinski. And Radlinski backs himself. And it was still there, but Darren Albert, all the experience in the world, just steadied himself, flicked the ball dead.
And again, the winger coming to the rescue. Beautiful offload there, and the kick through. A lot of people thought he may have been impeded, but yet again, if you're running in the right direction, good work from the winger. But if you're running in the same direction, you can shoulder charge a player out of the way, and that's what occurred to this fella, Chris Radlinski. And that all came about now. I think perhaps this is one of the few occasions that Wigan have had consecutive sixes.
And the consecutive sixes, you've always said this season, the start of momentum, you never know what comes. Not with men like Cassidy in your side. Joint knows that. This is Terry Newton. Inside it goes to Lamb. This now is Farrell. Great defence from St Helens. Newton, Lamb, O'Neill, Ferner the runner. Oh, great tackling. Anthony Stewart. Carney will bring it back this way. The Irishman going for broke. Brave run from him. Last one, they're a metre away. Newton, will he go on his own? No. Gives it to Lamb. Oh! Sullivan's offside.
He's fast, but not that fast. Now then, will they take the two on offer? Or do they need momentum? No, he's going to go for it.
No!
They've gone for that momentum.
Quick tap. Great ball out the back door from Ferner to O'Neill, but they've lost a bit of ground.
I think this is the right option. They didn't get many opportunities to charge at this same challenge line in the first half.
There's one from Newton. That's the second tackle. O'Neill waits. Fires the pass to Lamb. And Lamb will go on his own. Hauled down by Stankovic. Farrell. Farrell to the line. Farrell is held up. There's St Helens defence. It's been the key to them in the past. It's been the key tonight. Can they hold on though? Lamb has dropped it. Forcing the error, St Helens.
They took the gamble. It was a gift, 2 points that they shaded away. And I think they did the right thing. They needed a try, did Wigan.
I think then Terry O'Connor was offside as well. Here goes Stankovic. Ferner hauls him down.
Well, all they need is safety play now, is Saints. They're in full control.
This time Wigan are offside.
Just calm it down. Sean Long, I'm going to get on with it. About half a dozen of his own players says, take your time, Longy. This is going to be a test of the medal now for the Wigan defence.
Here's Anthony Stewart. It was. Oh, he's lost it. About to say his try started it all off for St Helens.
Well, I'm sure he tried to dive again and lost control. This is a ploy, without doubt. Just to try to slide through and then quickly play the ball. And the Wigan defenders are actually behind you. They've got to scramble back.
It didn't come off that time. And Carney bounces out of one challenge.
Wow, I thought Russell Smith was going to tackle him then.
Here's Cassidy. Oh, poor pass. Radlinski mops it up. Newton. Craig Smith. This rain has been driving down all night. It's a credit to the players that we're getting a game of this quality. It's with Farrell. And these supporters are enjoying it, but they're undercover. There's quite a few out there though who should have the brollies up.
They don't want to miss anything of this game, and rightly so.
Last tackle here for Wigan. Lamb will hoist the kick. It's a tester in conditions like this. Helens, safe. Safe as houses.
What a take. Just went a bit too high, Mick Cassidy, on that occasion. A lot better defence from Wigan though in this second stanza.
Here's Bennett. When he named him yesterday, Ian Millwood said, Mike Bennett's never let me down. And he hasn't let him down yet. Long's gone for a 40-20. Long has got the 40-20. Shades of Fittler in the Australian Grand Final last week. Sean Long.
It's taken 9.5 minutes for St Helens to utilise this wing behind them, and that is magnificent. No doubt about it. Well inside the 40, well over the 20. Magnificent stuff. It's been a long time since he's had an impact in this St Helens side. He did that last week, of course, when he was brought from the bench in the second half. He turned it and nearly won it for Saints.
He did.
But he's been instrumental tonight. He has been the key figure. Created the first 2 tries and now has come up with that magnificent kick.
And this is Mick Hyam who's just on. Paul Sculthorpe there feeding the scrum. Sean Long at standoff. Now he's at dummy half. Sculthorpe bounced away from one. Harvey Howard was there. Oh, and there's a bit of argy-bargy between Harvey Howard and Paul Sculthorpe. And here is Wellens. And Wellens forced down a blind alley almost. Farrell gets the tackle in on him. Long at dummy half again. Here is Yonkers.
Great defence from Ferner, going low, good impact.
Hyam to Long. And Long almost through. Harvey Howard again.
Surely the kick on the ground, into the corner.
Cunningham. Wellens went behind him. They're caught in possession again on the last. He's going potty on the side, Ian Millwood.
But you could see Paul Sculthorpe look around and say, what on earth is going on here? You control the game. You make sure you apply that pressure. Turn the tourniquet. Never allowed him to get back.
Ferner, desperate to leave Wigan with the grand final ring. On his way to Leeds next year, gets the penalty.
Well, he's prone to do that as well as Mickey Hyam. He's trying to slow the pace down, but they will rue the fact, will Saints, in that they've run on 2 occasions, they've played the power play when they've no reason to do it. It isn't as though they're behind.
Newton to Lamb. Wigan are. Here's Howard.
Going to that point now with, as Bill Arthur mentioned, Stuart Raper says be a little bit more adventurous. Test your arm. They've got nothing to lose.
No, they haven't. Loser tonight goes out. End of season. Winner goes on to Old Trafford. And the Jamboree next Saturday against the Bradford Bulls. That's why these 2 sides are slugging it out. The prize is massive. Lamb with a chip down the line. Stewart did well then. Here is Wellens. Stewart just nudged Brian Carney with his shoulder as they both chased them. Kick through. Here is Bennett.
Both sides quickly out of that defensive line, getting into the faces of the opposition. Look at that. That is tough stuff. Ferner put everything behind that.
Cunningham. Long. He's gone for another one. This time it's sliced off the boot though. Carney will allow it to come to ground and then pick up the momentum again. Stopped though by Yonkers. Let's remind ourselves we have this test match in the morning, New Zealand, Australia, 7:30 Sky Sports 2, and then the first of our grand finals is the Northern Ford Premiership one, Huddersfield Lee, and thereafter a place in Super League. The winner of that one gains promotion. Here is Farrell now, Saints hunting the man carrying the ball.
Well, they've had to do so much tackling of Wigan, especially in that first half, that they've got to produce a try pretty soon.
Great tackle.
Because I think the last quarter, I think they will fade, Eddie.
And that was on the last, and Terry Newton just slung the boot at it. And this is Darren Albert. Whoa,
swinging out.
Swinging out.
But he's got away with a couple already as a hooker.
He's got away with another one here.
Watch this, bang. Oh, surely the touch judges can see that.
Apparently not. The Rugby League information line, by the way, 0113-2329-111. All the details you'll need about the grand final, October the 19th, it's next Saturday, and that New Zealand Test series in November. 3 tests against Great Britain, 1 against Wales in Cardiff, England Day in London, and we'll be there with them all the way through on Sky Sports. But the grand final, of course, is the big event. That's the main event, the biggest match of the year. Champions will be crowned next week. We'll have a preview next Friday at 7, Sky Sports 2 from Old Trafford. Brian Noble's booked. Who'll be sitting alongside him? Ian Millwood or Stuart Raper? Coaches of the grand final teams, join us for that preview. It's a memorable night on the Friday. previewing what will be another wonderful grand final, I am sure.
It's going to be a good kick now from the Warriors. Going to try to force the error from Saints.
Good high kick from Farrell. Aspinwall's after this. Saints allow it to bounce. Aspinwall palms it back. O'Neill's done for a knock-on. I thought that came off his knee.
Well, I'm not so sure that it didn't come off a St. Helens hand. It was difficult to... Did Stewart get to it?
No, it was Aspinwall.
Yeah.
Well, O'Neill was on his way. He thought he was on his way to the line, but he knocked on. Iron!
Oh, there's problems there. Harvey Howard is in all sorts of trouble. He's laid flat out on his back. Referee, for obvious reasons, wants to stop the game.
Oh, and he's cut on the eyebrow as well.
That was one heck of a clash. Just went in awkward.
Ferner was a mile offside.
Well, he never made any attempt to get through it, and from the resulting collision, you can see in the background the big fella Harvey Howard. He's in cuckoo land. They collided there. It was Ferner that got him, his own player.
And Harvey has got to go off. Harvey Howard, 34 years of age, Brisbane in 2000, Wigan last year, aiming for a third grand final on the run. Off he goes. He was picked up and his legs just buckled when he got to his feet. So he goes off and Danny Tickle jogs on.
Was a useful player, Danny Tickle, and they've really got to do something there, but it's a bitter blow for Stuart Raper to have the big fella go off looking very, very groggy indeed.
One match too far for Wigan, I wonder. Long. St. Helens, of course, had the one match too far, the bridge too far at Wigan last year. This has been one heck of an effort, though. Long with a kick over the top. Sculthorpe
is offside. Sculthorpe is in front of the kicker.
Well, that's your view. It's got to be the view of Steve Cross, tonight's video referee, if that one's going to be chalked off. But you're not going to risk another house, are you?
Yep. I think Sculthorpe was in front.
Do you? Steve-o, you ain't staying at my place.
Wouldn't want to. I don't like rampant lions on the gates.
The West Wing's full, I'm afraid.
Ooh, one looking at that. Get the tent out. This is going to be given. I thought that Sculthorpe was offside.
You're in the garage with the dog.
Not much in it. Oh, not the dog, please. Well, I think they're going to give this. No doubt about the grounding. That's no problem. The Australians scored it like that all the time.
Paul Sculthorpe, I think, has come up with a huge try.
And in this weather, Eddie, I didn't want to lose the house.
It's gone. Try to Sculthorpe. That could just be the key in the door to the dressing room at Old Trafford next week for St. Helens.
Now the big question for this fella. Does he think the game is wrapped up? Does he think perhaps he could take some of his star players off and rest them?
Never.
You never say never about Ian Millwood. He comes up with some cute antics and cute tricks. And 90% of them, they come off. Certainly did on this occasion. Beautiful kick from Long. Sculthorpe knew exactly where he was going. He's a happy budgie.
Well, he just had a moment's hesitation then because he knew it was on its way to the big screen, and Steve Cross to make the decision. He voted in the affirmative. Long clipped over the conversion, and St. Helens now have opened up a bit of a lead, 24 points to 8. Sculthorpe, though, another huge influence on this St. Helens side. He's had another season to remember. Clarkey, is that the killer blow?
I fear for the Wigan players that it may be, but you know the one thing about Stuart Raper in his time at Wigan, he hasn't coached moves, he's coached attitude, And that's an attitude, never to give in, never to say die, and you don't stop trying until the end of the whistle, and you never know, they need something special, but they've just come up with possession, so you can tell they've lifted their intensity in defence, and Gary Connolly's forced a mistake. He wants a grand finale to his career at the grand final, and doesn't want to give in just yet. But I think in back there, I could just see Mick Cassidy limping off with a bad bang on the leg, and as you say, they are running out of troops thick and fast.
This will be like a casualty ward over there. The mistake, so Craig Smith comes on to pack down at this scrum. Knock on, Cassidy has to go off. O'Neill and Aspinwall.
Well, maybe an option of kicking early in the tackle count, because St. Helens have worked it out that Wigan have waited right until the very last. And by that time, both Albert and Stewart and Paul Wellens are aware of it. And they've got to try all sorts of tactics now. Maybe this is the time, just a little chip over.
Newton to Lamb to Farrell. They're hunting, aren't they?
Solid defence yet again.
Hunting in pairs and threes and fours. Smith.
Try 13.
Newton, Lamb, trying to stab the ball through. It's gone backwards, gone forwards, knock on. All the pressure, but to naught.
Just didn't get the look of the bounce, did he? Danny Sculthorpe just couldn't pick up the ball, neither could Gary Connolly. I must say it's been a battle royal out there. You just see that Martin Gleeson playing the football. Both sets of centres, Gleeson, Newell, Aspinwall and Connolly. Nobody's made a clean break between them. That's how strong their defence has been.
This fella's made a few clean breaks though, Kieran Cunningham. Scoots from dummy half.
Never played that correctly, got away with it.
Well, they never do these days. Good kick.
Not only that, see how it skidded off this wet surface. And I mentioned before the kick-off they would give Carney plenty of... And to be fair to the Irish winger, absorbed it.
Well, Stuart Raper, 6 wins from 8 against St Helens since he arrived. But this is the biggest. And he's lost it there.
First knock on from Tickle.
Yeah,
oh no, is it Sean O'Loughlin?
Sean O'Loughlin, yes.
Yeah.
They'll put the scrum down. The one thing we will be able to say today, Steve-O, is there will be a Sculthorpe at Old Trafford next week. Danny on the Wigan side and Paul on the Saints side. But which one? The moment it's the elder brother.
Well, even I knew that before kicking.
That makes a change for you to know which teams are playing.
Just show me the colours.
It's Paul Sculthorpe to Newlove, and it was.
Well spotted by the touch judge. And I think deep down inside the body of this fella, I think he knows that he delayed the pass a little bit too long. Yeah.
Saw Paul Sculthorpe immediately after the final whistle last week. There it is, a mile forward to Newlove. And he said then, I want to play tomorrow. I can't wait, he said. I can't wait to get at Wigan next week. 61 minutes of this eliminator gone. Bill, injury news yet?
Well, they really are patching them up on the Wigan bench now. Harvey Howard's gone to the dressing room to have stitches in that head wound. Terry Newton is there with ice all over the place. Ice on his knee, ice on his elbow, just accumulation of injury. Mick Cassidy's got a calf injury as well. So you can really see that the season has taken its toll on these Wigan players. The fact is that this game has drawn a capacity crowd to Knowsley Road. 15,100 in the ground. 1,000 fans apparently locked out before the game. This game was just the big one that everybody wanted to see, and it's lived up to expectations.
It has indeed. We've got a lockout at Knowsley Road. Farrell with the dab through, and that's music to our ears that they couldn't fit everybody into this ground who wanted to watch it.
But then again, Eddie, we see this tactic by Wigan. Farrell kicking on the last, and who was there to take it? Anthony Stewart. The wingers are reading it. You've got to take the gamble and kick early in the tackle count before they've dropped back.
18 minutes to go. St Helens almost there, but not against Wigan. That looked forward. Here's Newell. He's brought it back. Oh, that's a late call from the referee. A right one, but a late one.
Well, if that was forward, what about the one over the other side?
That is what Mr. Millwood is saying at this moment.
There was a blatant forward, an offload on the far side. Not much in there.
Well, what about your momentum rule?
It's not mine. Don't blame me for that. Yep.
I just say that's the momentum. And Newlove is down and injured in. And I look by the looks of the signal from the physio, he's finished. Paul Newlove for the time being.
Oh, that would be a bitter blow, because it looks as though St. Charles going on to the grand final. And it was all for naught. He threw the dummy.
Well, the physio screaming for someone to come and give her assistance.
It was a trick there, and then the knee. Accidental, I feel, from Rydlinski that came into it. He bravely played the ball. Oh, what a bitter blow this would be. Sean Hoppy ready to come into the fray.
Well, let's hope it's not as serious as it appears.
Well, the physio...
She immediately called for the stretcher.
She was panicking. She was screaming at them to get it there as quickly as possible. Here's a trip from Aspinwall. It's Radlinski's knee. Where the knees have gone into, is it in the back or on the thigh? I mean, it's remarkable that Newlove, this is the trip. He goes down. Ankle tap got him down, and then Rydlinski came clattering into him. He doesn't look well. Let's hope for his sake and all the Saints fans that this wonderful international or former international centre is going to be okay for next weekend.
Well, he missed the 2000 grand final against Wigan, and I hope he's not being carried off this field and will miss this one if St. Helens get to the grand final next week. It can be such a cruel game, this, at times, and the referee will wait while the stretcher is taken off the field, and rightly so. So just a time to pause and draw breath as Newlove makes a sad exit. Prior to last weekend, they'd lost just 2 of the last 19 in Super League 7, and you know, they were both against Wigan. But it looks at the moment like they might be getting their revenge, but Wigan might have something yet. Farrell is grounded though, trying a set move from the base of the scrum. O'Loughlin, tickle, almost through, and Hyam did well.
Now after this tackle, that's where they're going to come up with something now. Just try to kid this St. Helens defence, which has been absolutely superb tonight.
Here's Connolly, tried to get the winger in.
Oh, he's played on.
He has.
He said it was the knock-on.
And he's right. So Wigan have got the score, Radlinski. No, he's not. It'll be 6 more to go.
Did he lose it?
Well, I think Wellens knocked it out.
This is the last, is it?
No. Farrell's grounded. It's the second.
Well, it's all happening here.
O'Loughlin, Sculthorpe, offloads to O'Loughlin. St. Helens scrambling in defence. Stankovic trying to get to his feet, so too O'Loughlin. Plays the ball to Sculthorpe. And Danny Sculthorpe's held up.
How on earth did Rydlinski not score there? Just lost possession of it.
Good ball from O'Loughlin, but all along the deck. This is Connolly. That's the last. Can St. Helens hang on here? Farrell is trapped in possession, got the ball away, but St. Helens drop on it in the shape of Peter Shields.
Well, there again, he had to take that gamble. Rydlinski was heading for the line there. Hoppy got to him, so did Wellens, and the impact, just he lost possession.
Flying tackle from Wellens, saved the day.
Hoppy just got to him as well. This has been a bruiser. Brian Noble, our guest, I'm sure is enjoying this.
I was about to say he'll have a big smile on his face. His men have got... Oh,
that was a high one.
Danny Sculthorpe, it's the last one. It's with Long. He's gone for the 40-20, but Carney's dropped back. That ball will skip dead. Yes, and Saints will marshal their defensive line.
They won't mind that, because they can get that one line of defence set up. And they've got to wait until all the players get behind him. And look at that solid line there. That's why it's not so negative when the ball does go dead in goal. A lot of clubs utilise that. London are one of them as well.
Here's Craig Smith driving in. Oh, good offload to Lamb. They've got to take the chances now, Wigan.
But if a try is going to come their way, I feel sure it's going to come from the kick, Eddie.
Quarter of an hour to go, just under. Compelling match. Sculthorpe. Danny, that is. Grounded by Shields. Radlinski. Lamb. Match winners out there for Wigan. Brilliantly got away. Radlinski on to Farrell. Farrell won't turn this in.
They've kept Andy Farrell very quiet. Don't know how many times he's played the ball tonight, but it's quite a lot.
Good kick from O'Loughlin. And Anthony Stewart just shuttled it. Now, did he play it, or would the ball play the man? No, it's a drop out. Drop out underneath the sticks. Stewart. He played at it.
Well, I said kick. The kick was the option.
He did.
Of course he did. And then we saw Adrian Lamb come up with an absolute sensational kick from deep within his own half. We've got to utilise a big kick and a good chase, but that is one department Saints have been excellent tonight, and that is that kick and chase.
Well, no one's in any hurry to take this, and no wonder the referee has stopped the clock. Any Wigan fans who are screaming for them to get on with it. Players of both sides would be happy for the breather. Off the knees of O'Neill on halfway. He gives it to Danny Sculthorpe. Carney waits at dummy half. High and wrestles into the ground with help from Yonkers. O'Loughlin, Ferner.
Atrocious conditions, Eddie, but you've got to praise these players. They've produced some wonderful rugby league football.
O'Neill!
Oh, scrambling, getting back. They're out on the feet, you know, Saints.
O'Loughlin, Lamb. Stankovic gets to him. That is the last.
Will it be the grubber kick?
O'Loughlin, Ferner! And Ferner's trapped in possession. Went for the power play. Nothing wrong in that, to be fair, for Wigan, because Saints just 3 metres off their own line now. Ian Millwood's downstairs.
As he normally does. Just make sure everybody's calm and collected. Nothing fancy. And you can see there that the experience of Paul Sculthorpe. He's had a fine match tonight.
Aspinwall wrestles Shields to the ground. And Ian Millwood takes his place in the dugout. Ooh, that looked forward. It doesn't matter. Stankovic has lost it. O'Neill spins the ball to Danny Sculthorpe. Here is Andrew Farrell. Wigan aren't done yet. 12 minutes to rescue this.
Well, maybe a little bit more passing from the Wigan skipper would help their cause. I mentioned the fact he's played the ball so often. He's trying everything.
Connolly to Aspinwall. Aspinwall spins away. Comes back. Spins away again. Eventually, Anthony Stewart gets to him. Carney. He'll attack the line. Carney stopped 20 metres away. Hoppy and also Yonkers. O'Loughlin. Lamb. Danny Sculthorpe. Radlinski, and a great tackle from Gleeson. Lamb. Off the ground into the arms of O'Neill. Dumped over the top to Danny Tickle. Tickle up the middle and halted. That's the fourth. They've got 2 remaining, this set of 6. Here's O'Neill. O'Neill wide, looking for Carney. He finds him on the bounce. The Irishman will straighten it now. Dumps the ball back to Lamb. Lamb to Farrell. Farrell round the corner, a gift. Albert.
Well, he took his gamble, didn't it? It didn't pay off for him. And Stuart Raper knew that they had to keep that ball alive, and they kept it alive before the 4th and 5th tackle on that occasion.
Let's get some news on Paul Newlove, Bill.
Eddie, the early diagnosis from the Saints medical team is that it's a groin injury that Paul Newlove has suffered. They don't know how serious it is. Apparently he's in a lot of pain in that Saints dressing room, but they'll be hoping that it's one that won't keep him out of the grand final if Saints are going to get there.
They are 10 1/4 minutes away from Old Trafford. Long. Oof. That was a big collision. It's like going down a blind alley, that, with your headlights out. Cunningham. Sculthorpe, the angle kick. Good kick too. Radlinski has to wait for it.
Trouble is, no one else knew what he was doing.
Radlinski turns defence into attack. Good 10 metres gained by the Wigan fullback. Briscoe.
Again, we see one of the first and second markers, and that occasion was joint working overtime. You've got to hand it to Ian Millwood. They have really come up with a wonderful effort in that department. That'll be the knock-on by the skipper.
Well, they've got to try everything, Wigan. They really have.
It wasn't the best pass. You can't really expect him to try to get that on the half volley in these conditions. And I just get the feeling now that the Wigan players are fully aware, including their skipper, that this has been a match too far. They have contributed wonderfully. They've worked hard, but it's not going to be enough, I feel.
Well, it looks like increasingly it's going to be first v second at Old Trafford again. Saints finished the weekly rounds as league leaders. Bradford tucked in behind them, only on points difference. And at the moment, it's St Helens Bradford at Old Trafford. Unless Wigan can come up with something special in the last 8.5 minutes.
Talking special, will Cunningham go his own? No.
Sculthorpe pops it back. It's Wigan's turn to defend. Cunningham this time. Nearly. Last one. Didn't play that properly. He was on his knees. Penalty Wigan. Referee spotted it.
Got to regain his feet. That's what the law says. But they've been so eager, haven't they? You've got to regain your feet first. You cannot play the ball crouching down like that. You've got to regain your feet and then place the ball down.
So Wigan looking for something to give them encouragement in the last 8 minutes of this eliminator.
I've enjoyed every minute of this.
We've been up here, but boy, it's been hard. Connolly. Craig Smith.
Look at that, 33, and even 20 from Wigan.
O'Loughlin clapping his hands at dummy half. Back it goes to Craig Smith, on it goes to Radlinski. Here is Farrell again. Farrell pops the pass up to Tickle, and Long was there with Martin Gleeson. O'Loughlin. Sculthorpe does well. Gets the ball away to Lamb.
He's had a big game, you know, Danny Sculthorpe, since he came off the bench.
O'Loughlin, Farrell again. Dabs the ball over the top. It's hacked forward. Wellens is going to have to shuttle instead. Drop out from underneath the St Helens post coming up.
Well, they've had all the possession of the Warriors over the last 10 minutes. And they're turning the screw, but once again, Wellens in a wonderful position. Listen to this crowd.
Time's just running out for Wigan. They cannot crack this rock-solid defence from Saints. 24-8. They have kept Wigan pointless in this second half, having scored the Sculthorpe try themselves. Craig Smith on the run. They've just got to gamble now. Ward is back. Carney at dummy half. Cunningham with the tackle. O'Loughlin. Danny Sculthorpe driving in again, looking to offload. O'Loughlin. O'Neill. And O'Neill just couldn't get the ball away to Lamb.
To be fair, they played their inventive football late in the game. They should be rewarded.
They might be.
What a
fabulous tackle from Cunningham.
I will remember that for a long time. That was superb.
O'Neill, Furness flicked it. Carney flicks it. Back it goes to Radlinski. Play on. Last tackle. Radlinski hoists the kick. Oh, this is dangerous. Wellens does well. It's another set of 6 though. They're going to get another set of 6, Wigan.
How on earth was that not a knock-on earlier?
I think he's given a penalty because he was tackled in the air. Paul Wellens.
Well, I think the officials missed a knock-on early to this, but what a great take. Yeah,
He was right.
Just hit him a split second before his feet hit terra firma.
15,100 in here, soaked to the skin, a lot of them, and ominously for Wigan, some of their supporters heading for the exits. 5 minutes to go. Phil, I think it's going to be St Helens at Old Trafford.
Yeah, it is. I think you're a little bit farther away from the action than I am. I can tell you it's really been a slugfest. No question really about that. Both sides standing pretty looking tired at the moment. Neither of them will win a ring or a medal for the performance tonight. You have to win next week to do that. But I think they should award make some awards for bravery, because it's been a massive effort from the Wigan team.
It has been a great effort from both sides. Long with the kick over the top. The chase is on. They look to put pressure on Sean Briscoe, the youngster. He's a very, very cool head on young shoulders. He's only 19 years of age, Sean Briscoe.
Ian Millwall will be proud of his players, not just for the gutsy effort that they're putting both in defence, but they've got all the basics right. The kick and chase, the man marking first and second at the play of the ball, the runs from dummy half, and I'm sure that this fella, Stuart Raper, is fully aware that he's been beaten by a very, very good side indeed. And it sets it up for a magnificent final.
Great ball from O'Neill to Carney. Cunningham's after him. Wellens is after him. Sculthorpe gets him, and then the ball comes to Joint, and St Helens will counter. But Wigan just simply had to throw caution to the wing, and I think Carney's finished. He's collapsed in a heap. They're going down like flies, Wigan. That's a touch of cramp.
Yeah. And it was a fine effort as well. I mentioned earlier that he'd have plenty to do, and he has. He hasn't put a foot wrong.
Long with the kick. Oh, that will eat up the clock. Judged to perfection, the sliced kick from Long just bounces about 6 inches inside the field of play, and the scrum will go down, eat up the clock, and Saints are on the way to Old Trafford.
Well, Millwood knows that Sean Long will be a little bit ring rusty. It's been quite some time. This is his first game for many, many a week that he's actually started. Of course, he had that wonderful second half against Bradford last week. But he will be very pleased with Mr. Millwood that the architect is back. And boy, oh boy, he's drawing some big plans.
Aspinwall grounded. It will be Ian Millwood and Brian Noble, our guests, the two coaches of the grand final teams, in that special preview programme next Friday at 7. We're from Old Trafford on Sky Sports 2. Old Trafford, of course, the scene of the grand final itself. And that's the following day, and I think now we can safely say, even though Wigan have got the penalty, it's Saints against Bradford.
Well, it's hard to glean some positives from a loss, but when you think about it, Stuart Raper can look to the likes of Aspinwall, Sean Briscoe, Danny Sculthorpe, Sean O'Loughlin that have come on, and they have really fought to the end.
And so have Wigan, and they haven't flagged, have they? They're still at it, hammer and tongs, looking for something with O'Neill.
We said just after the restart for the second half that they wouldn't throw the towel in. They never do.
And they haven't. Radlinski! Great tackle by Wellens.
He's had a big game. Radlinski's hurt.
O'Loughlin. Back it goes to Lamb. Here is Andy Farrell. Back on the inside, looking for Danny Tickle. Ball put down. Anthony Stewart will counter-attack.
And the referee, Russell Smith, thought...
Look at the possession Wigan have had in this second half, Steve. It's been all them.
Yep. And that's why you've got to look to that defence and mention the fact that it's get the basics right. And they've done that.
Here goes Sculthorpe. His try in this second half just about took the pressure off the Saints. Came fairly early in the piece, about 56, 57 minutes. Since then, though, St Helens have had to withstand an onslaught. And kicks like that from Sean Long have helped. Again, it eats up the clock.
Not only that, it just again puts him in a position to apply that pressure. He knows that they're home and O's. He knows it's the end of the season, and so do those fans as they make towards the exit.
Well, the St Helens fans are singing, and they will be singing at Old Trafford next week. Bradford Saints. Great joy on the terraces. There'll be great relief on the field in 20 seconds. But credit Wigan for this effort. They have not given in. They've only got 15 seconds to go and they're still at it. Danny Sculthorpe. Still Sculthorpe. Down he goes. Here's the countdown to the grand final. Well, as soon as this ball goes dead, the game is over. And Darren Albert just boots it out. Ian Millward has done it again. St Helens are at Old Trafford. Wigan will be heartbroken. But they've played their part in a magnificent contest. Sean Long back to his imperious best. Just at the right time for St Helens and indeed for Great Britain. Wigan restricted to just one try and 2 goals from Andrew Farrell. St Helens 18-8 up at half-time. Their defence, despite some enormous Wigan pressure, kept intact in the second half. And Ian Millward, well, there'll be no celebrating yet. They've got a long, long way to go. They have 80 minutes to go before there'll be any celebrating, and that's next week. But the Saints fans will be there, so too will Kieran Cunningham. They'll all be rolling up to Old Trafford in their thousands, and probably the game that the neutrals would have wanted. The top 2 in the Super League after the weekly rounds will meet at Old Trafford for the right to be called champions of 2002. He's done it again. And he's going round to each and every one of his players. And so he should. A great victory for this great club. Well, don't forget, next Saturday it is the grand final, and it is the Song of St Helens. Here he is with Bill.
Sean, it's been a while you've had one of these. Congratulations.
Yeah, you're very hard out there. Like to thank Tissot, but you know, it was a really hard game. You know, it was a lot harder than what it looked, and we're just glad to be in the final.
Well, it was never going to be pretty in those conditions, was it? But you did what you had to do.
Yeah, it was one of those games where you just had to roll your sleeves up and get stuck in. And you know, Wigan are a great team. They pushed us right till the end, but you know, I think our defence was in order tonight, and you know, we really got it sorted.
How do you fancy the Bulls next weekend?
We'll do our best. You know, I mean, it was that 2 games took a lot out of us tonight. It's going to be hard, but we've got a week to get ourselves right, and you know, let's see what we can do.
Well done, Sean.
Cheers, Bill.
Well done, Sean Long. Well done, St